everyone, this is Yoga with Domini and I'm Domini. Today we're doing a yoga sculpt class. So I've got quite heavy-ish dumbbells, they're 6 kilogram ones. I'm going to be using those. Obviously go with whatever weight suits you. I also have these 1 kilogram ones, which is what I usually use in yoga sculpt classes with people, because the movements are, I mean, we're moving various body parts all at once a lot of the time, and it'd be perhaps dangerous and you wouldn't get your form correct if you were using heavier dumbbells. So I do still have my lighter ones for when I'm doing certain movements. You can absolutely just use them. You also, if you have a band, you can use a band. If you know how to use one, you can use that for a lot of these movements. You also don't need to have anything. So don't feel like, oh no, I can't do this workout because I don't have dumbbells, I don't have a band. It doesn't matter, you don't need them. You can still do this without them. So it's entirely up to you. Yeah, do whatever suits you best. And we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to start in a tabletop pose, just doing some cat-cows. So breathing in, dipping the belly, lifting the gaze. And breathe out as you curve your back up and chin to chest. So breathing in and out. Remember to keep your core engaged while you're doing this. Just going at your own pace. Not super slow, but not like swinging it around too fast either. Just a nice pace to warm everything up. This is a yoga sculpt class. We just need to move a little bit quicker with the warm up, just so we are warming everything up. And then low lunge, so right leg to the top of the mat. And pulse here a little bit. You can always bring it back into a half split. And then a low lunge, half split. Low lunge, other side. Cat's right in my way. Yes, you are, you're right in my way. Yeah, I know you don't care. Half split, low lunge, half splits, low lunge, into a downward facing dog and just pedal those legs out. Make sure you're breathing. Nice deep breaths in and out. Up to the top of the mat for a forward fold. And pedal the legs out here. So if you need to come up a little bit more, do it like that, that's absolutely fine. Just go as far down as you can go. Nice breaths in and out. Roll up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Head should be the last thing to come up. And do some shoulder rolls, but get the legs involved as well. So bending your knees and back. Make sure you're breathing. And the other way. My knee's clicking, don't know if you can hear that. And then the arms, the full arms, so arm circles, one way. And then the other. And then I want you to widen your feet just a little bit more. Bring one arm in front of the other. I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. So feet a little bit wider than hip width and just sway from side to side while you stretch your right arm. Nice deep breath in and out. You can sort of sway however you want to. Whatever feels good, just stretching that side out. And then the other side. stretch, a twist. Bring your arm up above your head, bend it so that your hand is sort of in the middle of your back here, and then push your elbow back. Make sure you're still swaying those hips, or you can sort of pedal the feet out a little bit if that feels good. Breathe in and release. Breathe out, other side. And then we'll find our way back into our downward facing dog. So arms to the floor, down dog. Oh, that's my Alexa thing going off. Sorry about that. If you bring your right knee to the mat, straighten your left leg out, and then just pivot over onto that right knee for a modified side plank. Arm above your head, or sorry, up towards the ceiling. Then point it over, so it's coming over your head and down to the mat. Switch sides. Arm up, over and down. Breathe in, arm up, over, breathe out, down, up, over and down. One more each side. Up, over, down, up, over and down. And then we're just going to go into a child's pose. I'm going to keep my knees together for this one because we're not staying here, we're going into a cobra, so we're going to go back and forth between child's pose and cobra. So a nice deep breath in, into your cobra, and back. I usually breathe out here and in here. Out and in. Because that's the breathing that feels good for me. But just breathe however you need to. As long as you are breathing, that's all that matters. One more. And come up into a tabletop pose. So now this is where we're getting into it. For this first move, we don't want the dumbbells. You can have a light dumbbell if you want in this hand, because we're doing bird dogs. And I'll keep hitting the sofa because the bloody cat's here. I can't move up the mat very far. Hopefully you've got more room than I have. But left leg out, right arm out, and like I said, you can always have the dumbbell in this right hand if you want to, but you don't need to. Nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just bring your elbow to your knee. So you need to keep your core nice and tight the whole time. You don't want to be dipping down into that belly like this. You want to keep everything nice and tight. So core nice and tight, shoulders away from your ears, and we'll get started. So 1, 2, I usually breathe out as I bring it in. So in here, out here. 3, 4, 5, 6, keeping that core nice and tight. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Swap over, so we're doing the other side, so if I don't knock the cat out with this dumbbell. So right leg back, Binks, honestly, you're right in the way. Left arm out, nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bring the elbow to the knee. 1, keeping your core nice and tight, remember. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release that dumbbell. We're going into fire hydrants now. So I'm going to start this on the left side this time so you can see what I'm doing. a bit more. You can, if you have dumbbells, put it behind your knee crease like that. Because this is quite a, well, everything else is static apart from my legs, I'm going to use my heavier dumbbells. So I'm going to bring my heavier dumbbell into my leg crease. In a nice tabletop position, core nice and tight and engaged. So you don't want to have like curving your back like this. You can have your back nice and straight, but your core muscles are still not engaged. You want to make sure you're bringing them in, up and in, like you're trying to hold a wee in. Basically, if you're desperate for a wee in, you're trying to hold it in. That's what you want to feel like. So fire hydrants, and again, remember you don't need to use any weights or anything at all. If you've got a band, you'd have it round your leg there, just above your knees. So 1, keeping that core nice and tight to protect the lower back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Donkey kickbacks. So again, engaging that core, holding it in nice and tight as if you're trying to hold a wee in. Nice deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, keeping this leg bent, squeezing that dumbbell if you've got one there. Leg up to the sky. So pointing your toes up towards the sky. That's 1, 2. Don't let your belly dip like that as you do this. Keep it all nice and tight and straight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Okay, so now we're just doing knee to armpit. This one might feel a little bit more difficult to do with a dumbbell, so if you don't want one, don't use one. Taking a nice deep breath in, and then as we breathe out, we're lifting the leg up and over towards knee to elbow and back. So 1, 2, 3, getting a side crunch in there. 4, 5, keep the tummy engaged. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. No dumbbells for this one because we're bringing our leg out straight behind us. You can have your foot flexed or pointed, whatever feels good for you. And we're just bringing the leg off the mat and pulsing for 10. So make sure you're still holding that core. You don't want the body doing this. You want your body to stay nice and stationary as possible. Just moving the leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so other side. Nice deep breath in. And breathe out. 1. Remember keeping that core nice and engaged. 2, 3. Take it nice and slow. 4. So not swinging it up and then letting it just drop back. Controlled movements. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. Okay. Nice deep breath in. And as we breathe out, 1, 2, 3, working those glutes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And release. Nice deep breath in. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And release. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can do a proper stretch, whatever you want to do. You can go into child's pose. I'm going to do down dog because I really need to stretch out the backs of those legs. Nice deep breath in, fan out. And then back down into a plank pose. We don't need any dumbbells for this. We're going to work the arms a little bit and the core. So, modified plank. You can go into full plank if you want to, because we're going to put the arms up and down. Sort of like that, up, down, down, up, and then switch it other side, down, down, up, down, down, up. So you can do that in a full plank, or you can do it in a modified plank with your knees on the mat. Again, holding your core in nice and tight, so tucking that tailbone under, engaging the glutes. Nice deep breath in, and begin. So right arm down, right arm up, left arm up. Then it would be left arm down, left arm up, right arm up. That's 2. Walk one way. 3. And just go as slow or as fast as you want to go. You don't have to go as fast as I'm going. You can go faster if you want to. And then just one more on each side. And release. You can come into a kneel-in pose here and just do a little bit of a swing with those arms if you want to. And then back into the plank. So knee drive, leg lift. So basically, plank, knee drive, leg lift, 10 each side. You can do this from a tabletop position if you don't want to do full plank. So just knee, leg, leg. Again, remember to keep that core nice and engaged, keep the back straight so don't flop it like this. You're not doing cat-cows while you're doing the motion. Your back should be staying as stationary as it possibly can. It's just your leg, hips moving slightly. So into that plank. So right leg first, knee drive, leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch. 1, 2, 3, keep the core engaged. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to go into side planks. So again, you can just do the modified version if you want to, or do the full version. Just staying here for a few seconds and then switching to the other side. And switch. And back to centre. One last thing, tiny little cardio burst. We're going to do some climbers. So again, you're sort of in that plank position. If you don't like that, you can do it from a tabletop position, but it'd just be sort of a knee drive like that. But if you're not happy doing the plank variation, then knees on the floor is what you have to do. Just try and do them a bit slower if you're doing it in a tabletop position. Really hold that core in tight and try and pull that knee in as far as you can. Get a bit of a crunch. Crunch, crunch. Yep. Otherwise, plank position. Climbers, as fast or as slow as you want. So again, you can do it real slow and get a good crunch. Or you can go for a full blown cardio burst and do a run. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. Again, just do whatever stretch you want to do. So for me, it's more my arms really that are starting to hurt at this point, and my wrists. So I'm going to do some wrist circles and stretches. Just stretch those out. Shake them out. And now we're going to standing. So for this section you can use dumbbells or not, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to be using the lighter ones because we're moving around a lot. With the heavier ones I will definitely hurt my back doing this at the speed we're going to do it at. If we were doing it super duper slow, the heavier ones would probably be all right. But we're going to be doing this a little bit quicker. So wide leg, toes pointed out, knees going in the same direction as the toes. And we're just going to hinge from the hips. Try not to bend the knees too much, especially the one you're going into. But do whatever feels good for you, because if you've got tight hamstrings and especially sort of tight inner thighs, it might feel better to do a bit of a bend. But otherwise, nice deep breath in. And then breathe out. Right hand to left ankle and up. Other side and up. And we're doing that quite quickly. So we'll get started. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out and start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Next is just knee drive with shoulder press. So you can use heavier weights for this one if you want to. Just make sure you've got a slight bend in your knees, that you're tucking your tailbone under and engaging those glutes to protect your lower back. Chest press with knee drive. So arms up into a cactus shape. And as you press overhead, knee to chest. Breathe in and breathe out as you push up. So it's up to you if you want to use weights, light weights, no weights, whatever is good for you. So nice deep breath in, get into position. Make sure you've got that nice sturdy base to protect your lower back. Remember, you can just do one thing. If you don't want to do the knee drives, don't do them. Or if you prefer not to do the weights, if you've got problems with your shoulders or whatever, and you don't want to do the overhead bit, just do the knee drives. Like that. Yep, so choose whatever you want to do. You don't have to do exactly what I'm telling you to do as long as you're following the correct form. So when I'm telling you to bend your knees slightly, don't have duck bum, tuck your tailbone under, engage your glutes. That's the important bit. But if you want to modify the actual exercise, that's entirely up to you. Okay, So get started. So 1, breathe out and in. 2, 3, keep that core engaged. 4, try and keep yourself nice and stable as well. 5, 6, keep that nice stance, that base. 8, 9, this is getting really hard. Oh, I'm going to drop the weights for the last one. And 10. Wow. So yeah, do whatever you need to do. If you start off with weights and then decide this is getting really, really tough, drop them and carry on without them, or lower the weight. And like I said, you can either always have just done just the base stationary and just doing that, or if you've got problems with your shoulders or you've got a bit of an iffy shoulder at the moment, leave that bit out and just do that. But like I said, as long as you're just following my safety advice, as in, you know, how to be positioned to do certain things, keeping your core nice and engaged, everything like that, as long as you're following that, you should be fine. Okay, so bent over rows, wide flies. So I'm going to use the lower weights for this one. Remember, again, you don't need to use weights at all. So what you want to do here, bend in your knees, tuck that tailbone under again, engage the glutes, hinge from the hips, keep that core nice and engaged to protect your lower back, and we're going to row and fly. If you don't like that, what you can do is bring one leg forward into a lunge, lean on it, and just do the row, fly with one arm. When I get to 5, just switch over and do the other 5 on the other arm. So whatever feels good for you. So bending the knees, engaging the core and the glutes, tucking that tailbone under, hinging from the hips, keeping the chest nice and open so I'm not hunching like this. Shoulders back, chest open, core nice and engaged. 1, 2, 3, and I'm moving fairly fast because I've got the lighter weights. If you've got heavier weights, this is 5, so if you're doing it the other way, switch. If you've got heavier weights, you're going to want to go slower, clearly. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're just going to do some tricep extensions in the same sort of position. So that same position there, elbows back. Again, if you don't like this position, just do what we were doing with the other exercise. So you've got your feet a bit wider than hip width apart, bending your knees, tucking the tailbone, nice engaged core, and just do overhead tricep extensions if that's what works for you. Otherwise, getting into this position, elbows back, and we're going to step back as we extend. Okay, so we'll get started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So now we're all going to meet at the top of the mat in mountain pose. We're not going to need the weights anymore. Just going to move this over because it's shifted slightly. That's it. So mountain pose, nice deep breath in, arms up. And then as you breathe out, just hinge from the hips, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Head should be the last thing to come up. Nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just go into warrior two. So keeping that torso nice and straight, don't collapse down. Lunging into that front leg, arms out. Nice breathing, so catch your breath. Then nice deep breath in, straighten that front leg. Lean forward, so push your fingers forward and then tilt down into that triangle. Remember not to lean on your knee. Have a slight micro bend here as well, if you need one. Extended side angle, so you're bending into that front knee again. You can rest your forearm on it, arm overhead or up straight, or you can bring your hands to the floor, fingertips to the floor. And we can always use blocks, or if you've got your dumbbells nearby, you can use that to bring the floor up to you. Back up into that warrior two. Point the toes so they're both facing forward for a wide-legged forward fold. So hands on your hips, nice deep breath in. Hinge from the hips as you fold forward. And just let everything hang heavy. So your head hang heavy. Let your arms hang heavy. You can absolutely have a bend in your knees if you need to. Try and keep the weight evenly distributed between your feet. So what I mean is, don't be putting too much weight in your toes and the upper part of your foot, or too much weight in the heel, in the back of your foot. Try and keep it evenly distributed throughout the whole foot. And then just work your way back to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Roll it up to mountain. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, go into warrior two on the other side. Straighten that front leg. Breathe in as you reach your front hand, so your left hand forward. Breathe out as you just tilt down into that triangle. Extended side angle, so bending into that front leg again. Either resting your forearm on the leg, you can have your arm up, your top arm over your head or up above. You can also have your hand or your fingertips to the floor. Back into that warrior two, so using your core strength to bring your body back up. And into a wide-legged forward fold. Nice deep breaths in and out. Just catch your breath. Back to that forward fold at the top of the mat. Widen your stance a little bit, so bring your feet so they're a little bit wider than hip width. Bend your knees as much as you need. Grab onto the opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Ragdoll fold and just swing here if that feels good. Make sure you're getting some nice deep breaths in here. Just cooling everything down. Into a downward facing dog. And just really stretch it out. And tabletop. Wide-legged child's pose. Up to tabletop, just bring the right leg up to the top of the mat in between your hands for a low lunge. Nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just go back into half splits. Back into that low lunge. Breathe in, arms up, and twist. Twisting over to the right. And back to centre, back to that tabletop, just switch legs, so left leg up, low lunge. Make sure you're breathing. Nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just bring it back to half splits. To low lunge. Nice deep breath in, arms up, and twist over to the left. And back to centre. Nice deep breath in. Child's pose. Keep the legs together though, because we're doing that child's pose. And cobra. Nice and gently this time though, just nice and slow. Going between the two, just getting a nice stretch both ways. And just come onto your belly. We're going to do scorpion pose, so a nice shoulder stretch with a bit of a twist. So right arm out to your side, trying to keep your hand in line with your shoulder. And then using this hand, a little bit of leverage. Just sort of twist over towards that straight arm, and you can stay here if you want to. Or you can bring this leg up and over, and you should feel that in your shoulder. You should feel it in your thigh as well, and you're getting a twist in your torso and your spine. If you feel like it, after a couple of breaths, you can always bring this straight arm that's behind you down towards your foot without catching your hair in your armpit, and just grab the ankle of the foot that's behind you, so it'd be my left ankle, and then sort of pull up just a little bit. Try and keep this knee open, keep your core engaged, and then back to centre. Move those out of the way because we'll do the other side. So left arm out and bring it round like this. And then after a few breaths, if you wanted to, you could always bring this, if you didn't have dumbbells in the way, bring this hand down and grab that ankle. Back to centre. Bring your left arm under your head, so like a little bit of a pillow. Tuck your tailbone under, so push your pubic bone into the mat, and then grab your right ankle and bring your heel towards your bum for a nice quad stretch. So make sure you're pushing your pelvic bone into the mat, you'll get more of a stretch there. And make sure you're breathing. And switch. onto our backs. Left leg straight, right knee into your chest. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just twist. So bring that right knee over to the left, right arm out, keeping your right shoulder on the mat. And you can look over towards your right arm or you can look up. Whatever works for you. Make sure you're breathing. On your next inhale, come back to center. Switch legs. Take a nice deep inhale. And then on your exhale, just twist to the other side. Inhale back to center. We're going to do a reclined butterfly to finish. So just bring the soles of your feet together. Tuck your tailbone under. So I like to lift my bum up, tuck, and then go back down. And then release my knees. Let them flop to the side. If you want to, you can always put blocks or pillows or something under your knees to just rest them on if this doesn't feel particularly that relaxing to finish off. I just want to get a nice stretch in those inner thighs here just to finish up, because we did a lot of leg stuff using our hips with the weights. Hands can be wherever you want them to be. I'm going to bring mine above my head actually so I get a bit of a stretch. Just breathe normally for a bit. Remember, if anything doesn't feel good, don't do it. So if this isn't feeling good, you can always just go into full Shavasana, or you can bring your feet out a little bit wider than hip width and let your knees collapse in towards each other. Or you can do a bit of a windshield wiper with the legs, which might feel good. Just staying in on one side for a few seconds just to stretch it out and then switching to the other side. And then making your way up to a nice seated position. So do that however you need to do, rolling onto your side. Coming up, whatever seated position is comfortable for you. And we'll just take a nice couple of breaths together just to finish off. So breathing in, arms up. And out. Breathe in, arms up. And out. So well done for doing that one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want to see more yoga sculpt classes. Please like and subscribe because that would be great, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.